What's going on, guys? We got chapter 101 of Chainsaw Man. I was able to make last week's chapter. I had some stuff to do and I really couldn't update anybody, but we're here and we're getting some interesting development with Asa and Yuko and the name of our war devil, Yuro. So, just a little tidbit. I was browsing Twitter and basically found out that Asa means, what was it, day, and then Yuro means night, something like that. Basically, it's a play on words. They're like complete opposites, right? But basically, last chapter, Asa wasn't in a good mood. She didn't want to be around any of her classmates. She was kind of put off by Yoshida and what happened, and she basically ran away. And Yuko's the one that gave her shoes. It basically made her feel better. And here they are now, basically talking to each other. She's feeling a lot better. She's basically like, hey, I'm gonna return the shoes because I can't even fit them. And I think this is really good. It's really developing this friendship with this with Yuko, her I guess new friend and classmate. If you remember, starting off with Denji, things were a little different. He never really got to experience any of this stuff. So to see the parallel of her getting to experience this in a lot different fashion, I think that just makes things really interesting. And I think when we get later on into the story, Denji and what he's gone through will parallel what Asa and maybe even Yuko, what they've gone through, right? Because Denji, gosh, man, he never really got to experience stuff like this. So I can't wait to see that interaction in the future. But we find out that they have something in common. Both their parents died by a devil, and they basically bonded on this point. And Yuko was so excited that she was like, we're basically manga characters, and we're gonna get this super of revenge on all the devils that did us wrong, which is very interesting. And I found a little funny tidbit. She said, I had to pee when I get excited, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I found that funny. I know some people that are actually like that. Anyway, this is where we get some development from Asa and Yuro, right? Well, mostly Asa. So the war devil gives us a little tidbit. We should kill her. And she's like, what? And the war devil says, the remains of your kills belong to you. Let's kill Yuro and turn her into a weapon. And she's like, don't be ridiculous. To kill a devil, you'll need a powerful weapon. The guiltier you feel about creating a weapon, the more powerful it will be. So that is something to note. If she feels bad about killing whatever person, the stronger that weapon could be. So she really, in order for her to really be on par, she's got to do something crazy in order to get a powerful weapon. That's good to know, right? Now, Asa is basically, she's like, no way. Like, there's no way I'm doing that at all. And she says, you're always jumping to violence. What is this? Is this the best thing you could come up with? You aren't here to make friends, remember, girl. And they're going back and forth. Asa kind of stands up for herself here. She's like, girl this, girl that. Stop calling me that. Basically saying, look, I have a name. It's Asa, right? You don't call me by my name either, War Devil says. And then Asa says, War Devil, it's just weird anyway. It's just weird and awkward, right? And I guess, in a way. And War Devil kind of gives in. I was a little bit surprised by this. War Devil says, if it's that difficult for you, then call me by my name, Yoru. And then War Devil mentions, if it serves my quest to kill Chainsaw Man, I'll swallow everything you say. Asa, thanks, Yoru. So we kind of got, she stood up. War Devil respected it. Hey, I'm Asa. Hey, I'm Yoru. Now we're somewhat kind of cool. And she was able to avoid, hey, there's no way I'm killing my one and only friend right now, Yuko, right? So that's a good thing. But that's another thing to keep in mind, right? The more powerful or the more guilty, the more powerful the weapon. So the both of them without Yoshida, which we know is a bad idea. If they had Yoshida, like, they would definitely be able to kill a devil. But essentially they go out to find a devil, and there's this interesting tidbit where this guy is basically giving a bunch of stats, and he basically talks about how, you know, people die by sickness, homicide, suicide, and now we have devils killing, right? And I just want to read this. Out of those 20, only 5 will die of old age. Out of the rest, 5 will die of illness. 1 will die in a traffic accident, 1 of homicide, 1 will commit suicide. The remaining 7 will all be killed by devils. And yet people walking past, they'll all mistakenly believe that they'll pass peacefully in their own beds. And honestly, I kind of mess with what this guy is saying. He's basically saying the likeliness of you being killed these days is high. You not only do you have to watch out for sickness, car accidents, homicides, suicides, but literally 7 out of the 20 will be killed by devils. So you walking around in those streets, it's not as safe as you think. Stop ignoring the problem. And I completely agree with them, because that's a ridiculous number. That means devils are just killing. That's crazy. So I kind of get what that guy's saying. Hey, man, we basically skip off to, and this is kind of a weird panel, because Asa and Yuko just walk in and they see this devil like grabbing people and throwing them out, and it looks similar to the Bat Devil from the Chainsaw Man Part 1, right? And we get a little tidbit. So Asa scared, Yuko scared, and then we get Yuro saying, look, I got bad news and more bad news. First, we can't beat that devil in our current state. And second, I just learned that I can't take over your body when you're stricken with fear. This is interesting. That means Asa has to grow. In order for her to even think about taking on the Chainsaw Man or any devil, she cannot have fear, at least until they're able to switch bodies. She can have 0 fear. She's got to be brave. She has to be brave in order for this to happen. And I think it's an interesting concept with the war devil, because it's like, if you're going to war, you have to be brave to fight. You can't be scared. So I think it's a nice little extra tidbit to kind of making Asa grow into the character she needs to be, this war devil character that she wants to, you know, someday go against Chainsaw Man. So at the end of it, they basically run, and the last panel is really funny because their faces are hilarious, but they're getting chased at the end of this chapter, and it's a good chapter. We learned a lot more about Asa and Yuro. We learned, you know, how they're gonna have to really work together, and how Asa specifically is gonna have to develop. Now, I do think there is a death flag on Yuko. I'm gonna be honest, I would not be surprised if she is killed. And I feel like the more of a connection she builds with Yuko, something tragic is gonna happen to Yuko, and she will have to kill her, and she will have this powerful weapon that is Yuko, her best friend. I think that's what's gonna happen here, and that's what it's setting up to be. That's my opinion of the death flag on her, because I don't see